What's up, guys? Hey, listen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brother Cepeda Munoz. You guys always know that I always start with referring you guys or requesting that you guys visit my website located at treeoflifeoutreach.com. It is a holistic ministry, and it is my assignment to provide you guys with nourishment of the mind, the body, and the spirit. I want to balance or assist you guys in becoming more familiar with it. If you guys are already familiar with how to balance and nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit, then I want to see if there's anything that I can do to help you guys to stay on that path and perhaps just motivate you guys. Obviously, we need to keep these things in a proper balance so that we're not just focusing on all three of them and one is being focused on more than the other. We need to keep these things in balance. I'm a huge fan of balance. This is what I promote, because no matter what it is in life, if you fall out of balance, then that creates a problem. So visit the website at treeoflifeoutreach.com. Familiarize yourself with the services, because the techniques and strategies that I utilize to complete this assignment is I balance and synthesize philosophical consultations that are based on experiential. It is experiential philosophical consultation. It's not scholarly. It's not academia. It's not based on academia. Okay, so I want to say that up front. And then I balance and synthesize that, guys, with clean-hearted spiritual teachings, i.e., spending time in nature, meditation, acts of honest and genuine acts of gratefulness and love. All of this nourishes the spirit, and I have specific tactics and programs that I implement and set forth to my clients and to those who are interested in that type of in those services. So I have the philosophical consultations merged and synthesized and balanced with clean-hearted spiritual practices, and then for your body, I utilize ISSA certified fitness training. ISSA, International Sports Science Association. And when you go to the website, treeoflifeoutreach.com, read over the bio, be inspired, be encouraged. And I do this every single video. I know I need to get better at shortening my intro, and I'm working on that. But I do this each and every time with regards to referring you guys to the website in honorance of He who has sent me, in honorance of all that He's done and continue to do in my life, and to inspire and encourage you guys, because some of you guys are out there going through some tough times. It doesn't look like you're going to make it. You've tried, and whatever the situation may be in your health, your finances, your relationships, careers, what have you, you've tried, and there just seems no way out. Do not give up. Do not give up. Read the bio, and if you stay faithful, just every time you fall, just focus on getting back up. Don't beat yourself up about it. Obviously, you take the pain that's associated with the disappointment of not having completed the task, but you don't dwell on it. You take it all in. You're angry, you're disappointed, you're sad for a moment, and then you flush that out, and then you keep it moving, okay? So let that be an inspiration to you guys, and just keep right on going. So once you read through the bio, go down and click on the fitness arm of the ministry. Once you read through the bio, go down and read through the services, and at the end of that page, there is a link that'll take you to the fitness arm of the ministry. So that's the intro, guys, and we're going to get right on into what it is that I would like to express to you guys today. And basically everything that I do is centered on love, not basically, like literally and in its entirety. So it's my goal to inspire and encourage. In fact, that's my assignment. So today we're going to talk about the power of I am. Those two very simple words are often quoted and referred to as being the two most powerful words in the entire dictionary. In the totality of words in its universe, those are considered to be the two most powerful. And the reason they say that is because you get to decide your I am. You get to decide your I am. So when you're saying it to yourself, you're using the I am love. I am courageous. I am confident. I am fortunate. I am kind, I am healthy, I am inspired, I am motivated, I am a good person, and so forth and so on. Now, as you guys know, I am a man of faith. I've researched and studied various religions, and to some extent or another, I've practiced various religions. And that information is detailed or set forth in my bio on the website. So all of these different things, the point that I'm making here is that all of these different things are designed to help us stay on the path and to keep us connected with the great I am, because every one of these religions that I've studied and practiced, at the core of them is about you being what you can be, the best that you can be, knowing that this Creator has created you from perfection. He has created you from perfection. You were not created from flawed material, lack, just kind of fill in the blank material. You were all created from perfection. Nothing about you was a mistake. Nothing about you was a fill in the blank. Nothing about you was an error. So oftentimes we let society decide that those things are errors for us, as if this infinite power, whatever you're comfortable referring to it as, because although I've searched and practiced all those religions, my teachings, my concepts, my philosophies are not based on religiosity. It's based on what religiosity has taught me and led me to, which is kind of a freedom from within that merges, combines all these different religions so far as the teachings, and while simultaneously merging those, also transcending those to realize that those things, just like politics, race, financial opportunities or whatnot, those things can limit us. So we don't want to be limited. We want to reach the wholeness of the purpose in which the Creator has set forth to us to fulfill. So even though I've done those things, it's not based on religiosity, but all of them are saying the same thing. Hey, you are endowed with a beauty that is eternal. Nothing about you is a mistake. And even though society will kind of tell us that it's a mistake that you're not as tall as you could have been or you wanted to be. You have all the skill set in the world and your game is incredible, but you're not as tall as you need to be to make the team. So that's a flaw. That's a setback. That's a mistake. Society has set us up from birth to believe these things, and those things are 100% false. You are perfect. You are perfect. And we got to get away from saying this stuff that here's those most powerful words in all of languages, in all the various tongues and dialect. These are the two most powerful words. Some say it. I am actually in agreement with that. I am. So one of the most counter constructive things that we say is that I'm not perfect. That's a fallacy. You are perfect. You may not conduct yourself perfectly all the time. I may not conduct myself perfectly all the time. I may have certain areas where I need to work on. My finances, may not be perfect. The way I treat people sometimes may not necessarily be what we would call perfect. So whatever it is that we're going through, that doesn't take away from the fact that we are perfect. It just says there is still work to do. So let us stop saying these things that I am not perfect. I know it's used as a reference point, and I understand the point that one is trying to get across, but at the same time, we got to be careful and not let that become our crutch, not let that become our excuse. So let us stop saying that. Let's use those two powerful words to always be using them constructively. I may have made a mistake. Maybe I yelled at someone that I couldn't have. Maybe I didn't handle that perfect, but I am perfect. I am perfect. And we keep saying this over and over until one day we achieve that perfection, because it's my ultimate belief that we are perfect. We are perfect. If you make a perfect bicycle or a perfect car or what have you, but the car gets a flat, the car needs a tune-up. That doesn't mean that car is not perfect. It's perfect for what it was designed for. It's perfect to complete the task for which it was assembled. So let us be mindful of that, and let us not utilize that as a crutch or a way out or an opportunity to settle for mediocrity or anything less than our absolute best. Because if you're giving your best and you're being your best, that makes you purpose. That makes you perfect. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. It doesn't matter what society says. It's what we believe in ourselves, what we think about this infinite creator, most commonly referred to as God. Because we can't, on the one hand, say he don't make no mistakes, but then turn right around and say we're not perfect, especially when we are his prized creation. So we need to make sure we guard our minds, guys, and we need to make sure that we're utilizing this I am as often as possible throughout your day. Check in with yourself. How many times have I said something encouraging about myself? How many times have I said something positive about myself? How many times have I said something forgiving about myself? How many times have I said something nourishing about myself? Because what happens is we're not trained to watch our minds as we should have been, and all through the day we're thinking a person is not thinking as positively as they could be. So let's not waste another day. Let's not waste another moment every single time of the day. Because what happens is when you repeat that enough, with consistently and being consistent at being persistent, then eventually what scientists would call a brainwashing or a hypnotism, you have basically hypnotized and brainwashed yourself into a truth that you are those things. And depending on the amount of emotions you put with your I am, which I'll do a video about the power of emotions here in a bit, the more emotion, the more power, the more quality of the emotion that you put behind your I am or with your I am love. And then take a moment to put that emotion behind it. Doesn't matter if you actually love, doesn't matter if you're actually rich, doesn't matter if you're actually a kind person. All that's going to follow with consistency and with persistence and with the depth and degree that you put your emotions behind it. That's the key. And again, I'm going to do a video probably right behind this one that delves into the power of the human emotions. But the more you do that, the more often you say that, then you transform yourself into something that may it may be classified as a hypnotism or brainwashing, but eventually it comes true. Like a hypnotism, you may wake up out of that. A brainwashing, you may wake up from out of that, but you actually training yourself to becoming something that you want to be. And that's the same thing for physical attainments. I'm in shape. My body is shredded. Your finances. I'm a millionaire. Money comes to me freely and abundantly with no strings attached. And you got $1 in your pocket. You don't know where the other one's going to come from. But saying this repetitively over and over and over again, it gives you the faith, the courage to say, if I'm a millionaire, I don't have to be afraid about spending this $1 or this $20 or whatnot. And you keep walking in alignment with a path to where though you bring those things in based on you focusing on those things, based on you putting your emotions behind those things. Because what's happened is, without us necessarily being mindful and then doing it intentionally, what happens is we've brainwashed ourselves in the opposite direction. Worrying about the bills so you don't let your money go freely. Worrying, every time somebody pissed you off, you respond and react to that. And you never counter that with that great I am. I am strong. I am overcoming this. I am getting better at this. So you don't do any of that, and that seed is planted, whether you're aware of it or not, that again, you're going to be hesitant about spending your money. You're going to be hesitant. You're not going to try to do anything different if a confrontation should arise. You're just going to keep following that same pattern. So you brainwash yourself, along with the help of society as well, to believe, to bring something into existence based on your beliefs. And now I'm challenging you to utilize that same power, that same energy to bring something positive into your life based on your thoughts, to bring something positive into society based on your thoughts and emotions. Because this is just how this thing works, guys. The powers that be know this, and they utilize this knowledge against us to keep us as being their servants. So make sure as often as you can you say something positive about yourself. Because you keep going around saying that you're kind, and you may actually be the direct opposite of that. You keep walking around saying you're courageous, you might be the opposite, the direct opposite of that. When you say it long enough, and I'm not talking about no extended, very long period of time, you just have to be consistent with it. And before you know it, you are that kind person. You are a millionaire. And if it's not the fate, your fate to be a millionaire, you'll be able to be like the lady who, once she had faith enough to believe, her cupboard never ran dry. So she might as well have been a millionaire. Because every time she went there, her cupboard was never dry anymore. Because she had the faith to give to God's child who went into that city and said, God sent me here and told me you were supposed to feed me. She said, well, she was old. She had a son that she had to feed. She said, how can I do that? I mean, I don't have much. And she looked down there and there was just a little bit of grain in there to feed the child of God. But she acted in faith and fed him. And then just miraculously, she looked down there and there was some more. And every time from that moment forward, when she went down there, her cupboard was never bare again. It was never that low again. So this is how it works, guys. And again, the powers that be know this. And they know that most people we're not trained to watch our minds. We're trained to watch our careers, watch the traffic, watch what's on TV, watch what's going on around us externally. But we're not trained to watch our minds. So I'm challenging you guys to start watching your minds. I'm challenging you guys to start checking in with yourself. Like you sit your body down, sit your mind down. Hey, where are you? You know your body is sitting down at a desk. You know your body is sitting down on the beach. So you know where your body is. Take time out to sit your mind down and see where your mind is. And when you do, you say something positive. You repeat it as many times to yourself, internally and or externally. Repeat it as many times as you can before maybe that you can only say it one time because you was in the midst of getting something done. It required you to say something else or maybe concentrate on something else. But at least you said it that one time, and then you sit yourself down again. You check in with your mind again and see where you are. Because if you're not thinking intentionally, then there's no telling what you're thinking. How many times a day have you just woke up and realized, wow, you're thinking about something that, even though you're supposed to be thinking of, you sitting there thinking about you at the dinner table with your wife, and you guys are making plans to about your vacation. And so obviously you should be thinking about that. You're talking about going over details and whatnot about the vacation, but you realize right in the midst of right when she's talking, you're thinking about the ball game. You just snap out and realize, dang, I ain't even thinking about what I should be thinking about. So if you're not aware of what you're thinking, then you're thinking something that's probably it's not. You're not. In other words, think intentionally. Think intentionally, and I'm gonna make another video about that as well. But I want you guys to make sure that you know the power of these words. These words are incredibly powerful. And we just need to be persistent and consistent about putting them out. And then the key is, once again, saying them with as much emotions as possible. So take a moment to feel that emotion when you say it. Take a moment to feel it. All emotions are created on the inside. Doesn't matter if something happens on the outside. You can just be doing nothing and just have a thought that'll create an emotion. You can have a thought about something that happened, something that may happen, and you just have that thought, and then it creates that emotion. And then you start feeling tight, tense, or what have you. So what I'm saying is, start consciously thinking about that thought and creating that emotion. Man, what it feels like if I'm rich. What does it feel like now that I'm rich? And the universe will bring that into your existence. So this is the word that I have for you guys, man. Stay strong. As always, stay strong and stay consistent. Be consistent about being persistent. Don't give up. Don't let your outer world define where you are. Maybe you're surrounded by haters. Maybe your finances are beneath that which you would like and expect and things of that nature. But every time you say you're a millionaire, every time you say you're a billionaire, you don't have to say a million. I'm just throwing it out. You can say my bills are always paid. Knowing you got some situation, you don't know how them bills going to get paid. But the more you focusing on that thought, the more that emotion is going out and bringing you more of the same. So when you become aware of what it is you're thinking, stop and say, I am beautiful. Doesn't matter what they say. I am gifted. I am talented. I'm a kind person. Repeat these as much as you can, and then take that time out, like I said, to put some emotion with it, and watch how fast it changes around for you. Mark a date on your calendar. And then every time, if you're able to, oftentimes we have our cell phones too much anyway. So every time that you can say it, text yourself a message. Said it once. Positive. I said a positive I am affirmation once. Then the next time, that makes 2. That makes 3. And then see how many you got to that day. This is the great workshop of life, guys, is to do this internal work that is so difficult, that is so hard, that this is how we break free of some of the things that have been holding us back. So listen, I start my videos the same, referencing and requesting that you guys visit my website and that you guys read the bio, pass that information on to someone else who may be interested in those services, or who just may simply would like to be inspired because of what they're going through. So I started that way, and then I finish it this way here, which is my personal mantra and the way that I live my personal life. The preferences or the pretext to my closing statement is, I don't know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. And that's as real can get. It doesn't matter to me what you are, who you are, what you're going through, what you've been through. I love you. Even my enemies, I love you. Because it doesn't matter how you attack me. It matters how I respond to that. And my Heavenly Father is going to guide me through that. And love don't mean being no punk. So if my Heavenly Father have me to handle you, then you will get handled. And then I'll pick you up and hand you your hat, dust you off, loan you $100 if you need it, take you out to lunch, and run it back if you want. So I love you just the same. I'm not out hating on you because you may be hating on me. And the same thing for those who are obviously for those who are sending me kind thoughts, kind emotions and thoughts of prayer. Obviously, I love you guys, whether I know you or not. So I don't know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. And here's the mantra that I live my life by every single day. And that is, if you're feeling bad, and we all may have those moments, if you're feeling bad, I challenge you to go out and make somebody else feel good. And I promise you, you'll feel better. If you already are feeling good, and you go out and make somebody who's feeling bad feel good. Then you'll go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal. That's just the way this thing works, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Visit the website, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, and stay blessed because you are blessed, okay? Peace, guys. I'm out.